Hi guys, I'm Andy from Escape to Adventure, and today I'm going to give you a quick guide to how to split a paddle. So here's the paddle I'm using. I've already split it. So when you split the paddle, what you need to do is find the exact middle of the paddle and then cut it. If you have a bandsaw or a steel saw, great, you're going to get that perfect straight cut. If you haven't, then you're going to have to do it by hand with an hacksaw. So if you are going to do it by hand with an hacksaw, I suggest you put some masking tape around the shaft, and that creates the perfect straight line around the shaft, and then you can cut it, clamp it, cut it. So now you cut your paddle in half, you now need to measure the diameter of the paddle and buy the appropriate spigot to suit. These are available from quite a few canoe shops. I got mine from Up and Under. Now this is 27mm and this is 27mm. However, sometimes it's not quite 27mm. Could be slightly bigger, slightly smaller. So I've actually bought a 28mm spigot, and what I've done is I've sanded it down so now it fits really tight into the shaft. So the next stage is to glue this in. You don't need the button for now, that comes later. What you want to do before you glue this in is just rough it up a little bit with a bit of sandpaper. And then you need to find the middle and mark it before you glue it in. So now I'm going to mix up some epoxy resin, and here comes the messy bit. Just finished mixing up my epoxy resin, and now what I'm going to do is, you notice I put a marigold on because this is going to be a bit messy. What I'm going to do now is get some on my finger and coat one side of the spigot up to the point where I marked it. I'm also going to do the inside of the shaft as well. So get my finger in there. Give it a good coating. And we're ready to go. I'm going to get this off. Get the dry end. Going to insert this up to the mark. There we go. Just got to clean off any excess glue. The job's a good one. So now we leave that to dry. So before I put the locking pin in and drill it, I have to set up this paddle to my preference. So that's whether I'm a left-hander, right-hander, what feather I want on the paddle. So to do that, I'm going to take my regular paddle, and I'm just going to lay it on the bench here. I'm going to put this one together loosely for now, and then I'm going to lay it on top of this paddle and twist it until it's exactly in line with my regular paddle. That way I know it's the correct feather. Now I did this earlier and I took a bit of time over it, and I marked it. I marked the paddle on both sides, so if I do have to take it apart now, I can just slat it back together and I know exactly where my feather is before I drill it. So finally I just need to know where to drill the hole, and to do that, what I'd do is I've measured that, which is 3 inches. If you half that, it's obviously 1.5, and I've marked 1.5 inches on here, so that's where I can drill the hole now. which will be perfectly in the middle of that. And now I'll put the paddle back together. Line up your little marks so you know you've got your feather correct. I'm going to clamp it. And now we're ready for drilling. Be careful doing this. Perfect. All we need to do now is insert the pin. So take it apart. The pin goes in the spigot end. Squeeze it together, slot it in. Try and line it up beforehand if you can. Might be a little awkward this. It's in. Press your button, see if it works. Perfect. One split paddle. Finally, this paddle is all set up now, but for a right-hander only. But there could be a possibility that you have to lend your paddle out, and they could be a left-hander. So you can change this to right and left by drilling a new hole. So if you was to line it up again, and if I line that up to a left-hander, that means then, take that out, I would have to drill a new hole around there in this bit only, and then I can swivel it to right or left-hander if I wanted. I'll do that at a later date. I'm Andy Holt. Thanks for watching. Bye.